Gamers, rise up! Intel is coming for you. That's right. Last month, Intel demoed a beta version of Bleep. It's in development AI technology that will detect and redact audio based on user preferences. What does this mean? Well, it means this. Bleep is designed to combat harmful language spewed online during gaming session and has been in development at least since 2019, when they first debuted this. Though now, it has come to the wider attention of the internet thanks to their reveal at Intel's recent GDC 2021 demo. This was, a nearly hour-long video of some drivel from Intel, from some advertisement, marketings and whatnot, and then there were a couple of minutes sneaked in pointing out this new software in development that they had. Now, it strikes you as a very dystopian thing at first when you look at all of the sliders. You have a slider for body shaming, then aggression, LGBTQ+, hate, and then you have misogyny, name-calling, the N-word and racism as two different things, together with xenophobia, sexually explicit language, swearing, and white nationalism as sliders, just like it was some sort of interface for graphical options on a video game. Now, the first thing that would jump to mind is why exactly is white nationalism in there and no other kind of nationalism? Why is misogyny in there without misandry? Why is the N-word divided from racism? Although I'm assuming this being American, it has quite a lot of weight put on the N-word. There have been quite some problem with just that single word over time. And some people even suggested maybe it's because of black people and their use of the N-word in different iterations between themselves, colloquially. So they wanted to put out a filter that would just disable the N-word but keep every other type of racism enabled or something like that. Otherwise, every conversation between black people would sound like some fucking 8-bit concert. That's my guess. So this is a software that will be launching on Intel-powered PCs and laptops, which means roughly, 50 to 60% of the market share for this type of devices, the other being AMD, of course. But that's not the point. The point is that if this software is going to be successful, at least by whatever metric they use to gauge whether or not it is, it's going to start being implemented by other developers, by other publishers in other platforms, Steam, for example, maybe GOG, Google Games, maybe the Epic Game Store, things like maybe Discord and similar other services. Now, the tech of the software, if it works as advertised, is obviously quite impressive, right? The entire point of this software is to bleep, to censor a word, the bad words before you have to hear them. So effectively censoring, effectively ending racism and discrimination. At the very least, censoring it, because it's not really going to stop it, which is one of the points that people have made when hearing this thing for the first time. You're just forcing people to come up with different, new, and engaging ways to find a slur, because they can't use the ones they are used to anymore, because they know, just in case someone else has this software enabled. The main juicy thing that can come out of this is going to be memes. Like this one. It's just what's going to happen. People are going to have fun, try to annoy others because they are trying to police what they can and cannot say. One thing is to mute them, one thing is to ban them, one thing is to remove them from the conversation. But if you keep them there, if you allow them to speak, but then also want to censor their words, people are just going to do it out of spite, for an epic gamer moment. This software by Intel, as they explain here, is done together by the Spirit AI company. Now, I tried to look at what Spirit AI effectively does, and I couldn't quite figure it out. It just smelled as this corporate PR buzzword bullshit that I couldn't quite figure out. Yeah, well, we are into natural language understanding and natural language generation, knowledge management. Yes, okay, I understand, but like precisely. Oh, of course, we do context-driven analysis, either by voice or by chat. We are an industry-leading moderation workflow company. We do powerful automation and deep insights into community trends. Okay, fine. You don't want to tell me what you do. Keep your buzzwords. Keep your marketing campaign. I don't care. So this is a company that develops AI software. So Intel took this software and put it together with the speech recognition software to make this Bleep censoring software. Now, there are a few things I would like to point out regarding this software, effectively waging war to gamers. Why, for example, is a computer software and hardware company trying to solve complex social issues? And not only trying to solve them, but also trying to solve them in a way that's really just similar to sweeping dirt under a rug, to just block your ears with your hands and just start shouting la 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 la. I can't hear, racism is cured. Because that's basically what this does. You know, if you want to be able to hear the N-word anymore, this is not going to make people who are saying that word not racist. It's just going to make them more inventive in finding more words to offend you with. Maybe they will start and decide that basketball American is racist enough to call black people. Or maybe, who knows, fried chicken American. Anything that they might think it's offensive if they can't use the N-word. So what you're going to do then? Update your software to start banning more and more words that you find offensive? And then we also have the question of where is the limit of this filter? Because the N-word is one thing, literally one thing, one word. But the rest, body shaming, LGBTQ plus hate, what exactly are the words you're going to be censoring with this? Is a body shaming censoring software going to stop people from using the word fat? Land whale? Those are going to all be banned because it's considered body shaming? How about xenophobia? What type of xenophobia are you banning? You know, I can be very xenophobic towards a certain race or ethnicity without using a single swear word, without using a single slur at all. You don't need to use them if you want to be xenophobic. And this is the worrying part, because you're like, okay, so how do you figure out which of the words you're gonna censor? And the Intel response, the Intel spokesperson's response was, the app is still a work in progress, but we built it with community feedback and continue to listen to feedback. So the overly offended are going to police which type of words you can say, it looks like, because that's the type of audience they are referring to. In the interview for Intel, the vice president, Roger Chandler, said that they quoted research from the Anti-Defamation League to figure out the cases of bad words to point out. The Anti-Defamation League, maybe you're not aware of this thing, there should be an entire new video about the ADL, but that's not the type of thing that is going to resonate with gamers. I'm not saying gamers as the meme word gamers, as the stereotypical racist, xenophobic, incel, whatever buzzword people have attached. I'm talking about normal player playing a game. The ADL is the type of organization which blasted a black SNL host for making the joke, Israel is reporting that they are vaccinated half of their population. I am going to guess it's the Jewish half. Yes, that is a very offensive and problematic joke because it inappropriately uses Jews as a punchline. Those are the type of people Intel is going to lean on deciding which bad words are going to be bad for this software, which is already a red flag, I would say. Obviously, at the end of the day, we can just say that this is not an issue for now because this is still, as it's important to point out, it's still an opt-in system. It's still something that you don't have to do anything about. It is not forced on you. You're not going to be forced. You're not going to be intruded by this software in whatever game you're playing or software you're using and basically forced to comply to this system. I only mention this because it could become a problem in the future if, as I mentioned, it's successful, it's popular. Sort of like the DRM system of Denuvo, which became a thing and then more and more companies started taking on this new DRM. This could be the same thing. It doesn't look like a problem now, but if in the blink of an eye it spreads, for example, to Steam, it spreads to Battle.net or even to Discord, and then slowly they start locking certain categories, like suddenly misogyny and the N-word and racism sliders can no longer be removed. There is no more non-options to your sliders. That is when it starts to become a little bit more intrusive. And you might think right now this is just conspiracy talk and things like that, but these type of filters, several of these type of filters are already put in place in text, right? In several chats, in several community places, be it Reddit, be it Twitter, several of these words are already basically banned and will get you banned or suspended or punished in some way already via text. So the next logical step really is to move from text to speech in this type of policing of your words, of the words you want to use. And you might be saying, but Eisen, what do you have against ending racism, against ending discrimination? Nothing. What I have against is this type of intruding software which is not really going to end anything. It's just going to make people more annoyed and make them less free and make them deprived of their freedom, because we know these type of things are not going to work properly. We know that this type of softwares have been used before, for example, to do things like censor the word rape in text, except that you're playing an RPG and you want to trade away the rape, and you can't because it gets censored, like it has happened before by Blizzard this time when they tried to ban that word, censor that word. It's not going to stop racist people from being racist. It's not going to make them It's not going to make them any less inclined in using racist slurs. It's just going to make them more inventive and more creative with their insults. It's also going to spawn a fair amount of memes, a fair amount of jokes in regards of this censoring, which are going to, yes, in jest, yes, joking, yes, in a playful manner, but it is still going to be doing so in a racist way, like something like this, for example, or something like this. They're fun, they're jokes, but they're still jokes around racism, or jokes around discrimination, or jokes around being mean to other people. That's why I don't enjoy this type of policing of people's words, of people's speech. Now, to close out this video, I have to point out that this is the first time, by the way, since September, that you see a different game than World of Warcraft here in the video. I know I should have addressed this before. You're probably shocked. You thought I was like one of those TV news anchormen where I only exist from the belly up. I have no legs. I can't have anything else other than WoW in my videos, but yeah, I can. It's just that right now there is much less to talk about in WoW, so I went and talked about something else that interests me, and this one caught my eye because of because of how bizarre it is for now. I hope it's gonna stay just a bizarre thing, just an attempt from a company to trying to push some, I don't know, virtue signaling good boy points within the community, just like Firefox did, Mozilla, you know, when they announced they were going to add the bitch to boss extension, trying to protect women online from bad words against them. Where did that go? Nowhere. That's also probably why Mozilla is so shit now, because they are focusing on things like that rather than making their software better. Maybe go back to not stripping down all of the functionalities of their extensions, for example, but I digress. I'm going off topic. So this is the end of the video. For now, we can stop here. Let me know what you guys think about this, particularly, of course, from the people who are more affected by these type of swear words, these type of offenses and discrimination. I have quite a thick skin, so I don't get offended by any of this. Plus, I am a boring, white, cis, privileged male, so it's not that there is much in here that can offend me. So maybe some of the more disenfranchised people have a different opinion on this new software. See you guys soon, and in the meantime, oh yeah, it's gamer time.